Winter is fast approaching, and I have to bring in some of my plants. Some of them are just going to have to just... I'm just going to sacrifice them to the cold weather and frost because I honestly don't have enough space. But I have been able to squeeze most of the things that I really care about inside. I'm sorry, this is my Christmas cactus. This is actually the first Christmas, I guess, that I'm going to be able to get some flowers. I had it last year, but I don't think it produced any flowers. So hopefully those will stay. This is, I cannot remember the scientific name for this, but this is Night Blooming Cereus. Anyway, I've had this plant for a few years. It's getting very big. Oh, the intermix here is a rubber plant, which is going this way, and this is the actual pot that it's in, and this is some more of it. It's not that big. I've had this plant for many years, more. It's probably going to be like 20 years, but it doesn't grow very big because it's in this room. This is a west-facing window, and it only really gets good sun in the summertime. I never bring it outside because I just don't. And actually, I'm afraid that if I bring it out, it's going to become a monster like some of my other trees, because it is a tree. I mean, if you lived in the tropics, this would be like as big as like an oak tree. At this point in time, 20 years, yeah. And this is the dragon fruit cactus that I brought in the house. I have it hanging from the ceiling, so it's kind of out of the way. The little spines they're not really that prickly, but anyway, they won't bother me up there. I have some, what do we call this thing? I used to call it Janice Craig. When I was working, doing office plant watering, we would call this thing Janet Craig. It's a type of Dracaena, and you know, it's been here for a long time too. Probably as long as I've been living in this house, which is 22 years. And I have this other, this is, what do they call this? It's cane. I want to say it's a cane. I can't remember. I think it is another type of Dracaena, but in any case, I've had this plant. We've had this. My husband actually is the one who owned this plant before we married, so we've had this plant forever. We've been married 26 years going on. No, actually it is 26 years. We were 26 years married in September, so. But anyway, this plant, it grew from a little, you know, cutting. It was maybe just like 5 inches, and then it got long, and then I cut it here, and then I made another plant over here. So it's kind of mixed in here too with the Janice Craig. So anyway, it's kind of a jungle in here. And then I have the ZZ plant, which I don't really do much with that. It just kind of does what it does. It doesn't make a lot of leaves. It's not a happy plant, but it survives somehow. So whatever, it can stay in here. I also have a tea plant. This actually came from my mother-in-law from Hawaii. She brought me a little cutting, and it's growing. It's been growing for a long time. I can't even tell you how long. And this is a nice little chef flower. I've had this forever too. Most of these plants I've had like forever. And here, it's a nice little plant. It doesn't do much. If it got more sun, it probably would be huge. But I kind of like keeping it small. And anyway, I'm going to show you my other little space in the house. I have 3 spaces where I keep my plants. And then there's one in the bathroom. But the one in the bathroom, I've had that plant since before I married my husband. And it's huge. It's huge. Although it's gone through a lot of evolutions. It used to just be a little small thing that lived at my mother's house, and then she died, I took it over. I had one of these of my own, but then mine died, and then my husband, I'm sorry, I took my mother's. Is that how it worked? I don't think that's what actually happened. I think I just had this one just for the longest time. It was languishing in that other room, and I moved it in here, and then it just kind of exploded. So, and then I got these plants in this room. This is the kitchen. This is a new plant that my husband got last year. Was it last year? I think it was last year. And, yeah, it was last year. And he also got this little croton last year. So, yeah, this dumb cane is one of those little ones. It's not the big one that makes a big, giant leaf or whatever. I guess it stays small like this. But it keeps getting tall, it keeps flopping over, so I have a little thing here holding it up. And this is tasty hot pepper that I planted a seed in there and I forgot to transplant it out, and it's just living there now. It seems very happy. It's actually blooming. Did I show you? No. It's got blooms on it. There you go. It's Journey taking some sun. Yikes. Well, that was exciting. Alright. Well, she'll be back. Anyway, so back here I have some of my orchids. And I have this hibiscus and this is, I'm not going to be able to get it on the camera, but this is the Norfolk Island pine, which we've had this plant forever. I don't know how long. It's at least 15 years. And this is a new addition. I think this is maybe the last thing that I brought in the house. It's this orchid. It's Phalaenopsis. Or moth orchid. I couldn't resist. The color drew me, and I just had to have it. I think it cost me like $14 at the local supermarket. It's one of those what is it? Just Add Ice, I think it's called. So yeah, it's a good one, I think. This here is Rampur Lime. I moved it yesterday because I figured it would be a good spot for it sitting up here on that shelf. And this is I think it's called Polka Dot Pothos or something like that. It's a pothos. Excuse me. This is another one of those. It's like the plants in the bathroom. It's oh boy, philodendron. It's a philodendron, not a pothos. And this is a hibiscus that I brought in from outside. This one makes a pretty peachy color. Oh, the bud just fell off. It was on there a minute ago. I didn't even know where it went. The other hibiscus is red. This one I got this year. The other one I got last year. But they do very nicely, and I just couldn't let them sit outside and go frozen. This is another fairly new addition, Phalaenopsis orchid. Doesn't have any flowers. This is the one that I had outside, and it makes a beautiful large fuchsia colored flower. So I cut the dead parts off and left the live part, and hopefully I'll get another flower. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm very phlegmy today, I guess. And this is the Buddha's hand. I had that outside, and I'm very happy to say that the baby fruit still remains. I was so scared that it was going to fall off bringing it upstairs, but it didn't, so it's nice. Excuse me. And look, there's a flower back there. Isn't that nice? I just pollinated it yesterday, so maybe it'll make another fruit. Who knows? And growing intermixed is a fiddle leaf fig. This thing is a monster. Where's the rest of it? The rest of it is all in there with the Buddha's hand. So, and down here I'm keeping my orchids and my African violet babies. I showed you that in the other video. And then I have some cuttings from sweet potatoes that I made in order to keep some of that, because there's no way I can bring a whole plant of that in the house. And I wanted to be able to save those. Anyway, this is a trouble over here, because this is the hallway. For years I've kept plants out here. These are all these are all plants that came from outside. And it's a veritable jungle. My aloe vera, my crown of thorns. That is a mandevilla that I dug up from one of the containers. This is an asparagus fern, which makes a very lovely effect, but it makes a lot of dead leaves all over, like confetti on the floor, so I'm not really looking forward to that, but I do like this plant. This is a small leaf agapanthus, which has been in the house for a while, so it's already yellowing. These are never happy inside, never. They always do this thing, they lose a lot of leaves. This is another agapanthus with a larger leaf that I just recently divided. And there's a bunch of them outside still. I have 5 plants outside, and I really honestly don't have anywhere to put them. And there's some cacti. All my cacti from outside I brought in. And this is a lantana, which up until a couple of days ago still had nice pretty flowers on it. And this is my Jimmy Nardello that I used to have in the greenhouse. I just brought it in last night. It's got some peppers on it. The plumeria is down there. The leaves all fell off. Just a few leaves left. They're all dead and underneath this thing. And this is my palm that I had in the front of the house. It's so big, man. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to bring it back in the house next year. I honestly shouldn't have it in the house today. And this is some geraniums that I was hoping to save. They're so yellow. I don't know. But anyway, the reason I was prompted to do this this video is because I guess I can stand here. Excuse me. The fire inspector came today, and she came out. This is the hallway. She came out in the hallway, and she was like, "Oh no, this is too much. Too much clutter. You gotta get rid of all this stuff." And I'm thinking, oh my god, why didn't you come like last week or 2 weeks ago when there was nothing out here? And so now the landlord is all upset and he's like, oh, see, I told you. So, whatever. Anyway, so now I gotta get, I want to say get rid of, I don't want to get rid of, but I may have to do something about that. And I don't know what is going to happen. I have no clue. I think what I'm going to do is recycle a few of them and maybe ask my sister or maybe some other friends and neighbors to house a couple plants for me, some of the larger ones until the spring. I think I know a couple people I might take a nice plant or two. So anyway, but this is kind of throwing me for a loop because, you know, I actually still have some plants outside I wanted to bring in. I wanted to bring in some peppers and big pigeon pea plant. I'm not going to be able to do that, I don't think. If I don't have the space in the hallway, then you know, that's my spare space, so I really don't think I can do it. I really don't think so. So that's all there is to say about that. But in the meantime, I am fully enjoying what I have in the house. It's making me very happy. So I'm glad to share this with you. Thanks for watching.